everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's Mashi here, coming into the weekend, and I hope you've all got some fantastic plans ahead. So what have I been up to in the last few days? Well, on a week where I've been kind of feeling like I wanted to keep myself to myself, I've actually picked up the mining job in Final Fantasy XIV. So what I've done in this video is put together a few things that I've noticed, and what I'm going to do is compare this and contrast it to World of Warcraft, because I know that you guys tend to like that, and I'll keep doing that until you tell me in numbers to stop. So, starting from the beginning, I want to talk about mining in A Realm Reborn, or kind of the 1 to 50 type experience. So, what I found in the 1 to 50 kind of area was that there was a lot of travelling involved. There are so many different materials involved with mining. There's so many different types of ore and minerals that you can collect. There was water, there's different sand, there's bomb dust, there's so many different things. It's not just ore in which you're collecting. And sometimes I found it a little bit difficult to know exactly what to farm and save for when I eventually look into weaponsmithing and armorsmithing at some point in the future. Now, there is a quest available and they are quite consistent. They're once every 5 levels, and what you do in the meantime when you're in between the quest is you carry on farming in one of the areas in order to progress up to the next 5 level interval. What was challenging with this was, yet again, I didn't really know what I needed to farm. So what I tried to do was stay in the areas around the quest or where the quest objective was, just in hope really that I will need those items at some point in the future. But if worse comes to worse, I can always sell any surplus materials and make a little bit of gil from it from the market board. One thing that I really enjoyed about the experience was the quests that I was given felt meaningful. So the quest text and the conversation that you're having with your guild master is that you may need to fulfill an order for water for a restaurant, was one of them, sorry. And there was another one where the Gladiators Guild needed more weapons and armour, so I had to go and get a particular type of ore for them to create some better gear, which I found really, really interesting. The main frustration I have with the quests is that every now and again you have a quest where you have to find a high quality of a certain type of material. You are given quite a lot of abilities with this job, just like any other job, to help you gather, and crafters will have abilities to help them craft better items. And obviously there are some that will help you in your gathering more each hit with your pickaxe. There's other ones that help you get more crystals if you're farming crystals. There's ones that increase the chance of getting rare items. There's so many different abilities that you can use in order to make your life a bit better quality of life. So when it comes to those particular quests where you do need the high quality versions, you are really reliant on those abilities, and you are subject to a lot of RNG sometimes. And I know that I've been stuck in an area because I'm getting plenty of the normal quality but not enough of the high quality that's required for the quest. So that is my main bugbear, we call it in the UK, with mining. Farming in between all of the different quests does have very little XP in A Realm Reborn anyway. It took me quite a long time to get to 50, in all honesty, but I felt that the quests, because they were interesting and meaningful, really helped me get through it. There are little cool things as well. So there's little treasure maps that you can find, and when you go to get the treasure, you'll fight off a few mobs and you'll get given a little bit of XP and some kind of low quality items that you can either keep or put on the market board. And also the quests themselves, they're not just for XP, you're also getting items from them. So there's not a huge reliance on you having to craft certain gear, or you don't have to go and buy things from the market board. You can just progress from 1 to 50 just using the items in which you're receiving from the quests. So the nodes themselves are personal, which I really like. So just because there's 50 people flying around trying to do mining at the same time as you doesn't penalise you in any way, shape or form. You're not in any rush in order to try and get to a mining node before somebody else. And of course, it's nice and easy to find the mining nodes because you have an ability to search, and then you can see the little pickaxe icon on the mini-map in order to go where you need to be. So all in all, I found 1 to 50 easy enough to understand, difficult in terms of getting rarity items for quests, which led to frustration, but all in all, it was an okay experience. Moving into Heavensward, I felt completely lost, and I like being completely honest with you because I hope that there may be somebody watching this who is in the same position at the moment, and I hope that this video may be able to help you. When I got to Ishgard, I was sent to Ishgard to naturally, as you are in any other job, you progress into Heavensward, which leads you straight into Ishgard. The Ishgard person, which is right next to the Etherite crystal, sent me straight back to Mordona. And when I got there, I was given a quest where it was explained to me about collectible items. And what was strange about collectible items is when I went back into, you know, Korthas and Highlands and places like that, I was finding collectible items, but the challenge was when I was bringing them back to try and turn them in, they weren't a rarity that could be turned in. It seems like they have to be very specific, and I don't really know what to do with the lower quality ones which I have in my bags. You know, I have quite a few, and I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to bin those, sell those, keep them, or maybe I'm trying to turn them in at the wrong place. I'm not really sure. The beauty about being in Heavensward is Rowena, I spoke to at some point at the end of ARR and in the transition into Heavensward, and she gave us some scrolls which gives us a buff which increases the amount of experience that we're receiving. So all in all, you know, from 50 to 57, it's only taken me a couple of hours, and it took me most of a day to get from 1 to 50, and I'll show you at the end of the video, or maybe I'll insert it now, but just how much stuff I have gathered so far. And I have no idea what to sell or what to keep, but I guess I'll find out when I look into crafting jobs. All in all, you know, the quests are, I've done a couple of quests so far. Just like A Realm Reborn, they have cutscenes, which is really nice. So it's obviously nice to have that input from the developers here to create something that's interesting. You're not just reading text off a screen, you know, it is moving in a cutscene fashion. There's no voiceovers, but obviously I'm quite happy just kind of having that in an MSQ footing. It's very similar to like the job-based quests, where there are cutscenes, but they're perhaps not at the same quality as you would expect from the main story quest. In Heavensward as well, I feel that the quests are similar. So the quests will have you find high quality items. Now, the challenge that I had straight away was that the items from A Realm Reborn didn't really cross over. So when I initially went out, I was really struggling with the percentage chances of collecting items, and it wasn't till I looked it up really that I could buy you know, gear for land-based classes. So then I had to go back to Ishgard and kit myself out with a brand new set of gear. So there is a massive jump between A Realm Reborn and the Heavensward gear, and it is for Gil. You don't need to save up any tokens or anything like that. You can just purchase it, and my quality of life increased so much when I bought this gear. And one of the quests where I had to collect some mithril, I believe it was you know, completed within reasonable time after collecting that new gear, just because it gives you a better chance of gathering, and it also increases your chance of getting those rare items that you need. How does this compare to WoW? So I'm going to put in some clips here from my Demon Hunter. Actually, I haven't bothered with mining so far, but I thought I would show you from another, you know, gathering-based professions perspective. So herbalism in World of Warcraft is like botany in Final Fantasy XIV. Very similar in regards to the mini-map is how you will track exactly where the next node is going to be for you to collect. You'll notice that my character is kind of walking around on the ground at the minute. That's because we don't have Shadowlands flying yet. I believe that it's coming in the patch in about a week's time. Gosh, it's gone very quick. It is 1 click per node. It used to be similar to Final Fantasy that you maybe had to click 3, 4, 5 times, but this was actually changed in the Wrath of the Lich King, I believe it was, expansion. So it's a little bit more friendly that you just click once and then all of the items which were on that node are collected. So you don't have a choice, as you do in Final Fantasy, in which item that you would like to collect from the node. If you see a node for a certain herb, it is going to give you that herb. And that's the way it works. So there is a little bit of a difference there. There's generally not many surprises. Sometimes you'll get other items from the nodes, like which one is it? In Legion, you could get items that give you a health buff. Sometimes you can get with mining, you can get gems and things like that in certain expansions. So it just depends whereabouts it is that you are farming. This expansion, the professions were used to create parts for legendary items. There's no real quests, which is a bit of a shame. I believe it was Legion again, World of Warcraft Legion, in which they had some good quests that I really enjoyed doing actually. But unfortunately they weren't continued after that. And I always feel that professions in World of Warcraft are almost a bit of an afterthought. It's definitely been skipped upon in Shadowlands in any case. The only spell that you have is called Find Minerals, or in this case on my herbalist, Find Herbs. And this is what puts the yellow dot on your mini map. There are achievements. So just the same as Final Fantasy, you'll be able to have a look at all of the different achievements in an achievement window, and they give you different types of rewards like titles and things like that, or maybe just the bragging rights that you have completed the achievement. It is a bit of a grind fest. So as I said before, just to reiterate, there are no quests. So what you need to do is click on the nodes, and that is what levels your profession up. Now, with regards to the spawns can be seen by everybody, and please bear with me whilst I try to explain this. Everybody can see the spawn. When the first person farms that node, there is a few seconds, and then everybody else still has their opportunity to collect from that same node. But after a few seconds, that node disappears, and it disappears for everybody. So it gives you the shared node experience but you do have the same opportunity to collect from the node as others around you, but you have to do it within a certain time frame. One last thing that I forgot to mention was how much I really liked the aesthetic of the gear in which you collect. So not only do you get to go around as a miner, so this is something that you don't get to do in World of Warcraft. Mining is just something that you have as part of, in this case, the herbalism is just something that my demon hunter has. So she's in her normal tanking demon hunter gear, but she can herb on the side. And it's the same with mining in World of Warcraft. Your warrior is DPS spec'd, but he or she will also be able to mine nodes when they walk past them. So there is no changing jobs involved. You just see them as you're walking by as part of your normal tasks, and then you collect them. The aesthetic on the gear is absolutely fantastic in Final Fantasy. I love playing into the fantasy that you actually look like you should be in a mine shaft. I know that some of the items that I've found in the past have looked like work gear, so proper kind of high vis, almost yellow pants. And there was one set of goggles that I had that looked very, very suitable, and kind of like a workman's top with the, you know, leather straps across your shoulders. It felt like it really fulfilled the fantasy, the Final Fantasy, of what you would expect a miner to look like. So that's really cool. I also picked up a pet. You can see him walking along with me in the clips that I've shown, but I thought that it was really cool that the pet that I'd found was actually like a little shardling type guy. But all in all, I am really enjoying the experience, and I can't wait to take this with me into Stormblood. I've decided to do this now because I thought it would be nice to have a profession-based job moving into Stormblood. So we will see exactly how that goes, and I will keep you updated. Hi guys, just a little quick edited clip thrown in here. One thing that I omitted from the little WoW section was just to let you know that there is no type of sneak ability in WoW. So what this means is if you are in the same level area as your character, if you are, you know, in an area where a mob is next to your mining or herbalism node, then you will need to kill the mob first. So that is one of the challenges between World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV in that regard. And also, I know I said at the beginning of the video that I was level 57, but actually during this video and collecting the clips for this video, you can see that I'm, you know, progressing. I'm almost 59 now. And, you know, it hasn't taken me a lot of gameplay in order to collect all of these different clips for you. So you can see how much the gathering really picks up when you get to Heavensward. So if you've just started in A Realm Reborn and it seems like an awful mountain to climb, just bear with it and eventually you'll get into Heavensward and beyond. So thank you, and let's get back into the video. I'm sorry for being a bit antisocial this week. There's been yet again so many things going on, but I hope you enjoyed this video just to let you know exactly what I've been up to over the last few days. So once again, have a lovely weekend. If you did like this video, please give it a like, and if you would mind subscribing to the channel if you would like to see some more videos and live streams from me in the future. See you next time.